activities. He noted that achieving President Bola Tinubu's vision of a $1 trillion economy was impossible without women's involvement. The SEC boss called on women to champion financial literacy and capital market participation, adding that the Commission was ready to collaborate with the Ministry of Women Affairs to attract more Nigerian women into the market. Suleiman Ibrahim welcomed the collaboration, stating that women have the potential to drive economic growth and that her ministry was prepared to support initiatives that enhance financial inclusion. She underscored the importance of access to finance, digital inclusion, and favorable lending conditions for women. Assuring SEC of her commitment, she declared herself an ambassador for the cause, pledging to help Nigerian women gain financial literacy, access the necessary resources for economic empowerment. Executive Commissioner for Legal and Enforcement at SEC, Frana Chukwuogo, also spoke on the need for women to avoid fraudulent investment schemes. She warned against Ponzi schemes that promise unrealistic returns, urging women to spread awareness and protect their financial resources. By educating women first, she noted the message of financial security can reach the broader society, ensuring sustainable wealth creation. Nigerians have asked the National Assembly to consider the issues raised by individuals, organizations, and the private sector on the tax reform bills. They asked the lawmakers to ensure that the bills were reviewed to address the concerns of those who submitted memos and spoke to the public hearing on the bills. This was as they expressed doubts about the National Assembly's readiness to complete the concerns of Nigerians into the tax bills before passing them. The National Assembly concluded the public hearing on the 4 bills on Friday. The stakeholders' engagement, which commenced on Monday with the Senate Committee on Finance hosting many agencies, ended at the House of Representatives with a pledge by the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, that the public input would be prioritized as the Parliament finalizes the provisions of the bills ahead of the passage. Given the barrage of criticisms, particularly from prominent Northern leaders, the Nigerian Governors Forum, and a legion of Northern lawmakers, the public hearing on the bills was seen as a significant win for President Bola Tinubu's administration. The bills were transmitted to the National Assembly in October 2024 by Tinubu for consideration and passage following the recommendations of the Presidential Task Force on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, headed by Taiwo Oyedele. The proposed bills are the Nigeria Tax Bill 2024, the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, the Nigeria Revenue Services Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. Although the 4 bills faced little opposition in the Senate and were swiftly passed for a second reading, the House insisted on their withdrawal in solidarity with the National Economic Council for broader consultation. However, a compromise was reached following the adoption of the revised proposal, which promised a fair and equitable VAT distribution at a meeting between the Nigerian Governors Forum and the Taiwo Oyedele-led Tax Reform Committee in January 2025. The governor proposed that VAT revenue should be shared as follows: 50% based on equality, 30% on derivation, and 20% based on the population to guarantee a fair distribution of resources. These developments convinced opposition lawmakers in the House, many of whom were acting on the directive of their respective governors, to agree to debate the general principles of the bills. Members of the National Youth Service Corps have expressed their disapproval of the federal government's persistent failure to implement the payment of the 77,000 naira allowance. The federal government is not new to anybody. Feeding is another issue in an unfamiliar place. It's nearly impossible to survive on 33,000 naira when you add the 4,000 naira. Things are very expensive. I haven't even included the transportation cost. And the Federal House stay will contribute for food, and after that one is left with a mega amount. I haven't even expressed dissatisfaction with the federal government over the delay in paying the allowance. She said the federal government should do something. This 33,000 naira is insufficient. After calculating my expenses, I see that I spend over 70,000 naira a month. The money, yes, I had to call my mother to ask for support because this monthly allowance is inadequate. Sessions scheduled throughout 2025. Economic challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. In his keynote speech, President Cyril Ramaphosa emphasized the importance of collective action in building a more resilient, sustainable, and equitable global economy. Principle of cooperation, warning that the erosion of multilateralism, I beg your pardon, test state. Ahead of the meeting, President 11.6%, and Rolls-Royce was up 5%.